everyone, welcome back to another fun-filled lesson of M.O Actual Speaking. I'm of course Jennifer Clyde, and today it's time for lesson 23. Wow, we've come a long way, right? And today we'll be talking about traveling. We did talk about similar topics in the past, but do keep in mind that we'll focus mainly on traveling, whether it's traveling locally within the country or abroad, overseas, going to foreign countries around the world. So I'm sure you've traveled a lot, right? And if you were asked to talk about a travel destination, your favorite place to travel to, where would that be? For example, it could be a place that you've already been to, or perhaps you're dreaming of traveling to a certain place sometime in the near future. Now, what kind of traveler are you? For example, do you pack a lot of things? In that case, you would be a heavy packer. Do you pack just a little things? Then you could say you are a light packer. As for me, I tend to carry a lot of things. I used to even carry my pillow with me. Anyhow, my dream destinations are places like the Maldives. I didn't have a chance to go to the Maldives. I would love to go to Bora Bora, which is also a beautiful island. It's an aqua-centric luxury resort. I'd like to check that out. Or I'd like to go to Santorini or Athens in Greece as well. So think about which places you would like to travel to sometime in the near future. Okay then, let's begin with our brainstorming cues. Are you ready, everyone, to begin today's lesson? Once again, today's topic is traveling. So first of all, before we start our brainstorming segment, think about the places you have traveled to so far and think about a dream travel destination, a place you really dream of traveling to in the future. All right, then let's begin brainstorming with our 5 W's and how. The 5 W's once again: who, what, when, where, why. Think of questions with these 5 W's and how. It'll make it much easier for you to talk about any topic in the future. So let's begin. Let's begin with who. The first W, who would you like to travel or who would you like to go on a vacation with in the future? So think about a future plan, where you would like to go in the future, okay? Who you would like to go with. Moving on, who have you traveled with in the past? Yeah, quickly think about who you traveled with, who you went on a vacation with, all right? Moving on to what. Now, what are some of your best or what are some of your life-changing travel experiences? So you can, of course, talk about what you did on your travels or on your journeys, excursions, vacations, but focus mainly on the best travel experiences or life-changing travel experiences. Life-changing experiences meaning things that you have learned from your trips that changed your life, okay? So think about that as well. Moving on to our next what is or are your dream destinations? Now, a dream destination you all know, it is a place or a location, a place you would like to go to, but a dream destination would be a place that you really, really hope to go to, a place you dream of traveling to. So think about where that is, okay? What is that destination? Moving on to when did you last travel overseas? So quickly think about the last vacation you took overseas, meaning abroad to a foreign country. And also, when do you plan to visit your favorite places? So also, when do you plan to go on your next travels, okay? When do you plan to go to or visit your favorite places in the future? Now, where have you traveled to so far? Think about the spots you've been to, the destinations you've visited or traveled to so far, up until now, and also where have you always wanted to travel? I guess this is very similar to a dream destination. Where have you always wanted to travel but never had the chance to? Perhaps you didn't have the opportunity, maybe you didn't have enough money to travel, maybe you didn't have anyone to travel with. There could be many, many reasons. So where have you always wanted to go or travel, but you didn't have the chance to go? Okay? Moving on to why. Why do you dream of traveling there? Now, what are your reasons? For example, I told you that I would love to go to the Maldives or Bora Bora, Santorini in Greece, or even Athens. But for example, I really dream of going to Bora Bora or the Maldives because I love tropical islands. I love the hot weather. I love the ocean and the beaches. So that would be my reason as to dreaming of traveling to those places. So brainstorm that on your own. And let's finally take a look at how. Now, how do you usually choose a travel destination? As I told you, I usually choose my travel destinations according to weather. I like warm climates, okay? Very warm places. So that's how I choose my travel destinations. Moving on to how often. How often do you travel locally or abroad on average? 평균적으로 라는 말이죠. So, locally or abroad. Locally meaning within the country. So, in Korea or around Korea, and abroad to foreign countries, of course. Here's our last one. How long would you like to stay at your favorite or dream destination? As for me, only if I could. If I could take off, I guess, time from work, I would love to travel for about 1 month. I would love to stay in Bora Bora or the Maldives or even in Greece for a whole month and really relax, have fun, I don't know, kind of energize myself and then come back to work again, return to reality. So how long would you like to stay at your favorite or dream destination? So these are quickly our brainstorming cues. Think about the 5 W's and how. Think of your own 5 W's and how, and let's now move on. Now it's time for us to take a listen to a conversation between Peter and Rachel. It's time for Actual Talk.
So Rachel, tell me about your favorite places in the world to visit.
My favorite places? I am a travel bug. I love traveling. I'm a huge advocate for, studying abroad or just traveling abroad and things like that. But if I had to pick my favorite place, I would say the Dominican Republic in the Caribbean.
Really?
Yeah, it was just so beautiful. The beaches were just amazing. The sand was white. The water was blue. It was just like paradise.
How long were you there?
I was there for about 10 days, I think. So kind of a long time.
Okay.
My best friend's family lives there. So I really got to have that.
That makes it easier.
Yeah, that real experience of what they live every day like. But what
Where
about
else have you
Oh,
traveled?
I've been to Senegal, West Africa as well. Yeah, and I've
Okay.
also been to France. And this really piqued my interest to just travel the world. Hopefully I can go backpacking someday, maybe in Europe. Yeah, I want to do that.
I did the backpacking thing in college.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I spent 3 months traveling throughout Europe.
Okay.
And it really changed my perspective on reality.
Oh, yeah. In what
seeing
way?
different cultures and how people react differently.
Yeah.
America can be kind of insular in
That's
that
true, yeah.
sense.
Would you say you had a favorite European country that you went to?
I have various different places affected me in different ways. So I don't have
Okay.
one favorite place, but I like different places for different reasons. Like
Okay.
Ireland for how green it is.
Oh, yeah.
A million colors of green. I liked Nepal for the just immensity of the mountains, and Greece for the depth of history.
Right. Wow.
And some places I haven't been, like Venice. I really want to take my wife there someday and just have a romantic week or something like that.
That sounds amazing. You sound like a world traveler, Peter.
I've been to quite a few countries,
Yeah,
and there's many more to go to.
That's true. Do you have a particular country you want to go to?
Every single one.
I hope it works for
Eventually.
you.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everyone. Did you enjoy the talk between Peter and Rachel? First of all, briefly, what did they talk about? Rachel said that she's been to a certain place, the Dominican Republic and she would love to go back, right? Because she had such a wonderful time there. Now, what did Peter say? He really sounded like he's traveled to many places around the world. He sure does sound like a world traveler. Okay, let's check out what they said in detail, line by line. Now, first of all, Peter says, Rachel, tell me about your favorite places in the world to visit. So he's talking about places in Korea and in other countries around the world. Now, she said, I am a travel bug. Let's take a look at this. Travel, we all know. Okay, it means to travel, go to places. But a bug here is, I guess, simply put in Korean, it's 벌레, right? So, if you say bug itself, of course, it has a different meaning. But if you put these two words together and say travel bug, think of it as like a virus, okay? A bug is a virus as well. And if you have a travel bug, you can also be a travel bug. But in this case, imagine you are infected with a virus that makes you want to travel. So if you have the travel bug, it means you really have a strong desire to travel. You really want to travel. And also you could say, I am a travel bug, meaning I am a person that loves to travel. I love to travel. That's right. I am a travel bug. I enjoy traveling. So I hope you keep that in mind, travel bug. That's right. Moving on. So she says, I love traveling. Now, I'm a huge advocate for studying and traveling abroad. So traveling abroad, but advocate for, okay? You can also say that you are an advocate of or advocate for something, meaning you are a supporter of something. You enjoy it, okay? You defend it, support it, meaning you like it very much. So simply put, she says, I'm a huge advocate for studying and traveling abroad, which means I really enjoy studying and traveling abroad. I like it very much, okay? Be an advocate for something or an advocate of something. But if I had the chance or if I had to pick my favorite place, I would say so-and-so. The Dominican Republic in the Caribbean. Okay, so she's saying the place or my favorite place to travel to is the Dominican Republic in the Caribbean. Let's practice the pronunciation. Dominican Republic. One more time. Dominican Republic. And what about this? Caribe. This is actually pronounced two ways. Okay, first of all, number one, Caribbean. Caribbean. The stress goes on the second syllable. One more time. Caribbean or Caribbean. Caribbean. On the first and third syllables. One more time. Caribbean. Caribbean. Okay, so she says the Dominican Republic in the Caribbean is my favorite travel destination. And then she explains, it was just so beautiful. Now, what can you tell from this situation? She says, it was so beautiful, meaning she's been there, right? She's had the experience of traveling there. She says the beaches were just amazing, amazing. They were beautiful. The sand was white, okay? She's talking about how beautiful it was. The water was blue. It was just like paradise. Just like paradise, meaning it was as beautiful as something or it was just like paradise. So she's talking about her travel experience to the Dominican Republic and she would love to go back if she had the chance. Now, Peter asks, how long were you there? She says, I was there for about 10 days, I think. So she's saying, I think, I'm not sure, but roughly I was there for about 10 days. My best friend's family lives there, so I got to have the real experience of what they live every day like. So she's saying, since my friend's family lives there, I got to see them, I got to see what they did, what they ate, what everyday life was like to live in the Dominican Republic. So she had the real experience. She experienced it herself. Now, she says, what about you? And of course, Peter says, I've been to Senegal, West Africa. I've also been to France, which really piqued my interest to travel the world. So he's talking about many different places. But first of all, Senegal, West Africa. I've also been to France, which really piqued my interest. Now, peak in this case, it sounds exactly the same as P-E-A-K. We often say the peak of a mountain or the peak of something, which means the very top or the highest point. But take a look at the spelling. It's P-I-Q-U-E. Peak. Peak. In this case, it means to excite, okay? Or excite your curiosity or interest. So if you say something piqued my interest, it means that, well, it made you even more interested in it, okay? It brought up your curiosity. To travel the world. Hopefully, I can go backpacking someday, maybe in Europe. We often go on backpacking travels, right? So you can say go backpacking. 배낭 여행입니다. Okay, moving on, he says, I want to go to Europe someday and go backpacking. Now, I did the backpacking thing in college, so he's once again talking about an experience of traveling or backpacking in the past. I spent 3 months traveling throughout Europe. So throughout Europe meaning from one point to another, but all around Europe. So he spent 3 months, wow, that's a long time, traveling throughout Europe. And it really changed my perspective on reality. Change one's perspective. For example, perspective is one's view of something, how you think, how you see things, how you perceive things. But this trip or this travel changed his perspective on reality, meaning changed the way he felt or saw reality. So kind of changed his mind about reality. All right, and then of course Rachel asks, oh, in what way did it change your perspective on reality? He says, seeing different cultures and how people react differently. So these are things that he really, really enjoyed or experienced. Seeing different cultures and how people react differently, okay? So he's talking about what he learned, what he experienced, what he saw. And he said America can be kind of insular in that sense. He's saying that the places he's traveled to are quite different from America because America can be kind of insular. Now, take a look at the spelling. I-N-S-U-L-E-L-A-R. In. Inside, right? Interior, inside. So if you say something is insular, you are saying that it is inward. It's very narrow, okay? So I guess you can say Americans are pretty narrow-minded, okay? So he's saying it's different. And Rachel says that's true. Would you say you had a favorite European country that you went to? She's asking if he has a favorite European country that he has traveled to. He says various places affected me in different ways, okay? Inspired me in different ways. So I don't have one favorite place, but I like different places for different reasons. Of course, you like different places for different reasons, Andy says. For example, like Ireland for how green it is. So he's saying Ireland for how green it is. I really, really like Ireland because it is so green. There's so much grass and fields, perhaps mountains. It's nature. Million colors of green. Also, I liked Nepal for the immensity of the mountains. So, why did he like Nepal? Because there were so many mountains. It is surrounded by nature. And Greece for the depth of history. So he's saying, yes, there's so much history in Greece. So he's giving examples of places and the reasons he likes those places. Once again, I like different places for different reasons. For example, Ireland for how green it is. Also, Nepal for the immensity of the mountains. And Greece for the depth of history. Okay, moving on. Now he says, and some places I haven't been, like Venice. I really want to take my wife there someday and just have a romantic week. So now he's talking about a place he would like to travel in the future, and he says he wants to take his wife there someday. Someday, meaning he's not sure when, but he will go. There's a high probability of going. That sounds amazing. You sound like a world traveler, Peter, she says. A world traveler, meaning a person that travels around the world, who enjoys traveling around the world. So for example, if you enjoy traveling across the world, around the globe, okay, from one country to another country, you could say, I am a world traveler, okay? Now, moving on. Now, Peter says, I've been to quite a few countries. I've been to a number of countries, okay? And there are many more to go, okay? Many more to go to. Many more countries to visit, okay? And then moving on, she says, do you have a particular country you want to go to? And in the end, Peter says, every single one eventually. So what does he mean by saying every single one? The one here means country around the world, eventually. Now, in the end, okay, in the end, I want to visit every single country in the world. So that sure sounds like he is a world traveler. That is all for today's actual talk. Hope you take a moment to listen to it one more time and check out the subtitles.
So Rachel, tell me about your favorite places in the world to visit.
My favorite places? You know, I am a travel bug. I love traveling. I'm a huge advocate for, you know, studying abroad or just traveling abroad and things like that. But if I had to pick my favorite place, I would say the Dominican Republic in the Caribbean.
Really?
Yeah, it was just so beautiful. The beaches were just amazing. The sand was white. The water was blue. It was just like paradise.
How long were you there?
I was there for about 10 days, I think, so kind of a long time.
Okay.
My best friend's family lives there, so I really got to have that.
That makes it easier.
Yeah, that real experience of what they live every day like, you know? But what about
Where else have you traveled?
You know, I've been to Senegal, West Africa as well. Yeah, and I've
Okay.
also been to France. And this really piqued my interest to just travel the world. Hopefully, I can go backpacking someday, maybe in Europe. Yeah, I want to do that.
I did the backpacking thing in college.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I spent 3 months traveling throughout Europe.
Okay.
And it really changed my perspective on reality.
Oh, yeah.
You
In
know,
what
seeing
way?
different cultures and how people react differently.
Yeah.
You know, America can be kind of insular in
That's
that
true, yeah.
sense.
Would you say you had a favorite, like, European country that you went to?
I have various different places affected me in different ways. So I don't have
Okay.
one favorite place, but I like different places for different reasons. Like
Okay.
Ireland for how green it is.
Oh, yeah.
A million colors of green. I liked Nepal for the just immensity of the mountains, and Greece for the depth of history.
Right, wow.
And you know, some places I haven't been, like Venice. I really want to take my wife there someday and just have a romantic week or something like that.
That sounds amazing. You sound like a world traveler, Peter.
I've been to quite a few countries,
Yeah,
and there's many more to go to.
That's true. And do you have a particular country you want to go to?
Every single one.
I hope it works for you.
Yeah.
Now, are you ready for some actual talk expressions? I have broken up the expressions into 4 categories. So let's take a look at the first category. Let's talk about types of travelers. So think about what kind of traveler you are. For example, I did mention that I am a heavy packer, meaning I pack a lot of things in my bag. I take almost everything just in case, and I don't like to travel with groups of people. So I have not been on a package tour yet. I like to plan things on my own, make reservations on my own as well. All right, let's see. I am a focused travel planner. So what does this mean? You're a travel planner. It means you like to plan your travels, but not just plan it. You are focused. If you are focused on something, your attention is there. your attention is centered on something, you're focused on something, which means you really, really plan from every tiny detail. You can say, I am a focused travel planner, okay? If you're really good at planning, you can say you are a good, focused planner. Moving on, I do my homework and plan ahead. That's right. For focused travelers, you can say, I do my homework. Oh, but do my homework? We're talking about traveling, and I'm talking about do my homework. Now, homework here does not mean assignment at school, at college, high school, elementary school. Now, do one's homework is an idiom. It's an idiomatic expression, and it means to do research, okay? To do research on something, to study something in preparation for something. So if you are preparing something and you say, I did my homework, it means you did lots of studying and lots of research. So I do my homework and plan ahead, in advance, way before you go on that vacation. Okay, so you do a lot of research and you plan ahead, in advance. Moving on, I enjoy traveling without an agenda. Now, what is an agenda? It is a list of things to do, okay? So you travel without an agenda, meaning you don't really plan. You go on your travels and you do whatever you can do, okay? Another one, I like to play things by ear on my travels. This is very similar too. Play something by ear. Another idiom. Play something by ear means to do something spontaneously, unplanned. Do something by ear means unplanned. So if you say, I like to play things by ear on my travels, it means I enjoy traveling and doing things as I wish, okay? So if you go on your travel and you feel like going here, then you go. If you want to go somewhere else, you go somewhere else. If you don't plan ahead, you just say, I like to play things by ear. All right, keep that in mind. Let's move on to, I usually travel on a tight budget. We all know what a budget is. It is the amount of money that you have or the amount of money that you decided to spend. But tight here means what? Limited. So if you say that you are on a tight budget, it means that you have a limited amount of money to spend, not too much money, okay? All right, let's move on to how you prefer your travels. Now you can say, when I travel, let's practice this pattern. When I travel, I look for big, iconic experiences. So if experiences are important to you when you travel, you can say, when I travel, I look for big, iconic, meaning something very, very important, powerful, okay? Great experiences. Another one, when I travel, I have no itinerary at hand. Now, itinerary is very similar to an agenda, but an agenda is a list of things to do, and an itinerary is a list of places to go to. So usually, when you travel or go on a vacation, you would have an itinerary, okay? Even on a business trip, you would have an itinerary. But you can say, I have no itinerary at hand or in hand. It means you don't plan ahead when you travel. Another one, when I travel, it's the little things that make my trips enjoyable. So little things meaning this and that, okay? You're not saying this makes my trip enjoyable. 이것저것, the small things, okay? When I travel, it's the little things that make my trips, make my travels enjoyable. Now, I travel for the whole experience. I travel for the whole package, including both big and little happenings. I travel for something. Now, you want to gain something. What do you want to gain? Whole experience or whole package means a complete set of something. You want to do everything when it comes to traveling. Let's move on. Favorite travel experiences? You could talk about places you have been to and say perhaps, I fell in love with the town and its small cities. So if you liked something about a certain place, you can say, I fell in love with so-and-so. You can not only use fell in love with a person, you can say I fell in love with things as well. For example, you can fall in love with the people there, with their culture, with their traditions, okay? So try using I fell in love with so-and-so. I was blown away by the breathtaking scenery and architecture. So once again, we're talking about the beautiful scenery and the architecture, but you were blown away. You were taken aback. You were so surprised. You were overwhelmed, okay? You can say blown away. It's a great thing. All right, moving on. The trip was much more than I had ever imagined. It was much more. You're not only talking about just one thing you liked about the trip. You can say, wow, I expected this much, but once I went there, wow, it was this much. So the trip was much more than I had ever imagined or expected. You can say that, all right? Okay, let's take a look at two more quickly. Each day revealed something magical. Reveal means what? To open up, to show to people. In this case, it means you earned something, you gained, you experienced something magical every day. It was like magic. It was so wonderful. And one more. My travels had led me to major changes in my life. Okay? Life-changing travel experiences, remember? So you can say my travels have led me to major changes in my life, meaning so far from traveling to a lot of places, I have learned a lot, I have gained a lot, and these travels have changed my life overall. Okay, so these are some ways to talk about your favorite travel experiences, what you liked about those places, and perhaps what you experienced, gained from those trips. That's a wrap for today's Actual Talk Expressions. Now, let's move on. Okay, everyone, it is now time for today's idiom. Are you ready for it? Okay. As always, I prepare an idiom that sounds like it's related to the topic, but it is not. It has a whole different meaning to it. Today's idiom is down the road. Down the road. What does this mean? Here is a sentence. I'm hoping to buy a house, but that'll probably happen several years down the road. One more time. I'm hoping to buy a house, but that'll probably happen several years down the road. Here's a definition. Down the road means 장래에, 미래에, 언젠가. Okay, so it's sometime in the future. Okay, you're not sure when, but sometime in the future. Here is another example. Down the road, I know you'll regret it. This is something you can say to a friend, a family member. If you think this person did something and you feel that he or she is going to regret it, you can say, down the road, I know you'll regret it. Down the road, I think you're going to regret it. Why did you do that, for example? Okay, that is a wrap for today's idiom. Make it yours by practicing.
Talk about some of your favorite places to travel or visit. Who would you like to go there with and for how long? Feel free to talk about a place you've always wanted to travel or visit but never had the chance to.
One of my favorite places to visit is Europe. When I went to Paris as an exchange student, I stayed there for 1 year, and I had a marvelous experience there by visiting a lot of countries around France. So Europe is one of my favorite places, and if I get to go there again, I would love to go with my friends. Going with my friends would be the best because I went there with my family before, but I went there when I was young. So now when I go with my friends, I think there will be more things to enjoy, such as partying and having more fun. And also, there are some places I really wanted to go, but I didn't have the chance. And I would love to go to Phuket or Fiji Island, where you can take some rest and also suntan and enjoy the beach. Since I like just laying around and enjoying the sun, I think those tropical islands will be a great place to visit if I ever get a chance to go.
That was our actual interview for the day. So once again, as always, thank you to Lee Seung-nim for a wonderful interview. So today we're talking about your favorite place to travel to and perhaps places you want to travel to in the future. What did she say? Let's check it out. She first of all talked about going to Paris as an exchange student. She's talking about her past experience. Wonderful. When I went to Paris as an exchange student, I stayed there for 1 year. So she's talking about where she went and for how long she stayed there. Okay? Now try to give as much detail as possible when you are doing an interview in English, okay? Now another one, Europe is one of my favorite places. Okay, so she's talking about a place that she would like to visit in the future. And if I get to go there again, I would love to go with my friends. Okay, so she's saying if I had the chance to go again, I would definitely go with my friends. That's right, she talked about why she wants to go with her friends, right? So that she'll have lots of fun. I'm sure she's going to party if she goes with her friends. So you can talk about your favorite place and when you would like to go there, who you would like to go there with in the future. Let's check out a few oopsies. Here it is. And I would love to go to Phuket or Fiji Island, where you can take some rest and also suntan and enjoy the beach. Now, wonderful, but something that bothers me is here. The and, it's not wrong, but I do want to point out, it's not good to start every sentence with an and. Try not to say and all the time. And this part, take some rest. Let's check out how you should say this. I would love to go to Phuket or Fiji Island where you can get some rest, suntan, and enjoy the beach. Take some rest is not used. You usually have some rest, or most commonly, you get some rest. I'm so tired. I need to get some rest, okay? Take some rest? No, say get some rest. And here it is. Since I like just laying around and enjoying the sun, I think those tropical islands will be a great place to visit if I ever get a chance to go. So I have highlighted the words here that you should change. Laying around, that should be changed. Now we're talking about tropical islands, plural, many, many places. So you should say, be great places to visit if I ever get a chance. Well, you should say, since I like just lying around. Lay means to put aside, place things. If you want to lie around, relax on the beach, lying around and enjoying the sun, I think those tropical islands will be great places, okay, these should go together, to visit if I ever get the chance to go. A chance is okay, but you're talking about a possibility of going, so you would say, if I had the chance to go, I would love to go to Phuket and Fiji Island just to lie around, okay, and get some sun. Sounds like a wonderful plan, and that is a wrap for today's actual interview. Job well done. As always, time flew by very, very quickly, especially when it comes to talking about interesting and fun topics. I would love to just leave and take off on a vacation to an overseas country, a tropical area perhaps. Now, which location would be your dream location for your next travel? Think about that and practice the ways to talk about these travels and perhaps the type of travel planner you are as well. Next time, I'll be back with another interesting topic. We'll focus on talking about personalities, not about friends, your family, and yourself, but mainly on personalities. We'll learn personality adjectives next time. So until then, take care, and everyone, be sure to check out webpage out. It's www.ebse.co.kr and just search for Chenipoi Actual Speaking. Leave some comments, questions, posts, anything. Okay, that is a wrap for today, everyone. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.